episode 28. This is the Inside Deschutes County podcast. It's available everywhere. You can subscribe on any podcast platform. You can also find us on deschutes.org/podcast.
Deschutes County is an amazing place to live,
work, and play.
Great place to raise a family.
I love the weather and the high desert.
At Deschutes County, we provide excellent service.
We're here to help you.
Deschutes County is the heart of Oregon.
Everyone wants to be here.
This is episode 28 of the Inside Deschutes County podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Eric Brion. It is one of the busiest times of the year at Deschutes County. We just had the primary election. The new Negus transfer station just opened. It's also budget season. And big announcements are coming fast and furious from the Deschutes County Fair and Expo Center. We'll certainly be talking about all things budget in the coming weeks. But fair announcements are a lot of fun, so let's do that on this episode. Geoff Hinds, Fair Director, is with us. Geoff, how are things?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
You're staying busy.
We're trying to.
You got a new pup.
I did, yeah, a couple months ago.
Tico.
Yeah, he's pretty fun to have.
That was quite the story.
Yeah, he's pretty fun and a little bit of an adventure in getting him here.
You got him from Costa Rica?
Yeah, he came from Costa Rica.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
I know, he's pretty fun.
Yeah. Wow, things have been busy here.
Yeah, we try to have something going on almost every weekend here and oftentimes during the week as well. So it's not unusual for us to be doing multiple events at any one time. Last year we did almost 200 unique events and close to 400 different event days throughout the year. So,
200?
Yeah, a lot of 200 different contracts.
That's a few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you just had Comic-Con here.
Yes, we did, yeah.
How did that go?
Comic-Con was great. So it was a single day event and huge turnout for that. First time we've had that particular Comic-Con. We'd done an anime festival that got disrupted by COVID back in 21 or 22. And this was a new promoter that came and just a different group of people and different vendors and a huge response from the community. So really excited to see it and looks like it's going to come back next year.
Cool costumes.
Yep, a lot of cool costumes, yeah.
Lots of sword fighting in the grass. It was crazy. There are lots going on.
Yeah, a lot of role-playing, a lot of dressing up, a lot of costumes, and just all kinds of fun. So a lot of make-believe, and just people out here having a great time, and that's fun to see.
Yeah, I got to see a little bit of that, and just people were having a blast. I mean, showing off their comics, their little figurines, their all the things that they're into, and that was just super cool. That same weekend was also OSET.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oregon High School Equestrian Teams. That's their state championship. We host that here on an annual basis, and then every other year, won't be this year, but again next year, we do the Pacific Northwest Regional High School Equestrian Championships as well. So, yeah, as big as that one was, and we talked briefly about just how many horses and trailers and riders there are. Pacific Northwest is I believe 3 states come together. So it's not quite 3 times as large, but it's a decent size increase as well, and a really cool event to see those high school equestrian kids come and compete, and after all the hard work they've done all year.
I was shocked how many people were here.
Yeah, they come from all over.
Tons of trailers. Mm-hmm. I got to see the Dabber event.
Okay.
Do you know about the Dabber event?
I don't think so, no.
It's kind of like their bingo.
Okay.
You know the bingo dabbers, where they kind of mark the cattle that are running away from it. It was kind of cool. It was kind of fun.
Oh, very fun.
Didn't know they did that.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's so many different things they do here, and the size and just scale of our facility gives them so many opportunities and options to do things that they just may not be able to do at other venues.
Yeah, because they were inside the arena, they were in the outdoor arena. I mean, so big event.
Yeah,
taking a lot of the fairground. I mean, using a lot of your facility.
Yeah, they use almost all of actually they use more than all the stalls that we have. So they bring in some portable horse stalls to keep all the animals, which means that it's more than 400 animals on grounds. Don't know how many kids there were this year or competitors. And they use the event center, both of the outdoor arenas for warm-ups and some other trials, and camp on site. And they're here for a long time. They start arriving on Wednesday around midday, and they're here all the way through Sunday night, and some even stay until Monday morning. So they're in the community and having a good time, and they're staying here, they're playing here, but they're going out and enjoying what Central Oregon has to offer, and enjoying the restaurants and hotels and recreational opportunities while they're here in town. So should be a good impact.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
What kind of impact does events like these have on not only the fair? I mean, obviously you're not with the city of Redmond, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of in tandem a little bit. Bringing people in.
Well, it's not just the city of Redmond, so it's on a regional basis. It's the city has a limited number of, or the city of Redmond has a limited number of hotel rooms, so it's not uncommon for us to fill every room within the city of Redmond, and then you push out into Bend and into some of the unincorporated areas of the county, and maybe even to Prineville, Madras, depending on the size of the event. And so it's not uncommon for us to fill the city of Redmond. That probably happens 20 to 30 weekends out of the year for events that are happening here, and compression down into Bend and other regions. But the Travel Oregon estimates that somebody coming from more than 50 miles and staying overnight has an economic impact of $286 per person. And so gives you an idea of what the impact of that can be. And last year, the fairgrounds had just under 1 million total visitors come onto the property for events, and 50% of those came from more than 50 miles away. 50.1%. It was the first time we've tipped that 50% scale in our measurement history. We use an analytics program that gives us kind of visitor data of who's coming here, when they're coming here, and where they're coming from to be able to provide things like this economic impact. So we use a different number than Travel Oregon, just because not all of our visitors are travelers, right? A lot of the people that are coming to visit activities here at the fairgrounds live here in our own community, and so we use a much more conservative number of $113 per person per visit, which comes out of it's a 2018 study from Oklahoma State University for a region or regions of our size. So we haven't adjusted that for inflation or cost of living, and that's changed a little bit, but we like to be conservative, and that economic impact from last year's 1 million visitors on the property, 50% being from out of the area and 50% local, meant that it was about $120 million of economic impact to the region from events that were here. And as I said, that's really conservative numbers when you use the impact multipliers that most people do. And for an example, a single event that's coming back up in July did commission their own study for their festival, and came up with a $120 million impact from their study alone. So it tells you just how conservative our estimations may be. But we'd rather err on the side of being safe than maybe being unbelievable or unreal.
You might not know this off the top of your head, but because we didn't talk about this, but have you come all the way back from the COVID years in terms of attendance, impact, those kinds of things?
Yeah, we have, and then some. So the total unique number of events maybe has changed a little bit since then. We've reconfigured how we're hosting events and what we're hosting on the property after COVID, and the size of this property being one of the largest in the country gives us a lot of flexibility. But we're also out there trying to bring new activities onto the community, and the first one of those that we really saw that took up the entirety of the property in full-size scale and scope of what we have to offer was Overland Expo in 2022, and the world's largest outdoor travel adventure show. They're bringing multi-million-dollar adventure vans, and for those that have come, you know what it is. It's hard to describe, and those that haven't,
it's big.
You have to come and see it. I don't know. Yeah, you've got manufacturers. General Motors has unveiled a new vehicle on property the last couple of years. There's been new motorcycles unveiled here. It's a big deal, right? And so it uses the entire property, and that first chance where we really got to see how we could use the property. So that was 22. In 23, we brought out Farewell Music Festival and Cascade Equinox, two very different music festivals that use the property very differently to showcase how we can do that. And really, it's not to go away from those legacy events, the ones that are so important. We will always focus on providing a location for the community to come together to celebrate things like fair for FFA and 4-H and their fundraisers and hospice auction. I mean, there's countless numbers of fundraisers here. If I tried to list them all, I'm going to forget somebody, and then somebody will be upset at me. So just named just a very top level few, not top level, just a few right there that first came to mind that we host here. Those are the things we'll always do. But we're really working to bring those larger activities to the community. As the community grows and changes, it's going to want different types of entertainment. It's also a great way to get people to come and experience what we have here to offer in Central Oregon, and to get those visitors to come see what we have. And we're hoping they come and stay a day or two longer or a week longer sometimes.
You mentioned Farewell. Coming back?
It is, yep. Yes.
Big July.
Yeah, July 19th through the 21st this year.
Who's coming?
They got a pretty good lineup. So they changed their formats just a little bit. They went a little bit different. Last year was a little bit more country, and this year more of a traditional festival lineup. And headlined on Friday with Billy Strings, Saturday with Camp, and Sunday with Billy Carlisle. But I mean, then you look at the
Brandy Carlisle.
What did I say? Sorry.
You said Billy. I don't know who
Oh,
Billy.
Billy Strings.
Who's Billy Carlisle?
Billy Strings and Brandy Carlisle. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, you look down the list on there, and I mean, not even headlining. You're like Jason Isbell, Coulter Wall, Ryan Bingham, Leanne Rhymes, Whiskey Myers, Red Clay Strays, Larry Fleet, and you got stuff that could be headlining at a lot of other major festivals, and they're not top billing, and so it's pretty cool to see that festival kind of grow and get its legs, and the changes they're making and the impact that they make in the community. When I talked about the event that commissioned their own study, Farewell Festival is that one, and their economic impact study done by a pretty reputable, or a very reputable company, said they estimate they had about $120 million economic impact from that weekend alone. And I mean, they sold out every hotel. We know people that were staying in Chemult, I mean, that were working the festival.
That's crazy.
And so it had a huge impact.
What kind of changes this year? Because it was the first year last year. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that there was some learning, some takeaways. Yep. Any changes coming in regards to how people experience the event?
Yeah, so last year we had to sandwich it in between a couple other events, and so it limited the amount of time they had to get set up and ready to go in what they were going to do, and really nobody knew what the success was going to be. And this year we were able to give them a little bit more lead time to get set up, to get ready, to build a little bit bigger stages, and to do some more magic that they do to make it an even better festival. But it means they can start a little bit earlier, so they'll add camping instead of people arriving on Friday. In the afternoon, they'll be able to start arriving on Thursday and start their festival earlier in the day on Friday, and just have fun all weekend. As I said, they're adding more camping elements. Last year they utilized our RV park for very small on-site camping, and this year coming up they'll camp in a couple of our other areas, and a lot of people will be able to be housed on site, allowing that festival just to continue to grow. Hopefully we'll see more people, and also will help us a little bit with how we move people on and off the property. Really, everything from a festival side, everything on the property itself worked very well, especially for our first year event. We've never used the property like that, and so to have it be as seamless as it was for the first time really speaks to how professional the C3 team is, the folks that produced this, and we saw that going in. This is the team that produces Lollapalooza, and they produce Bonnaroo and Shaky Knees and Austin City Limits, and the list goes on. They do it 60 plus times a year. They know what they're doing, and it's a well-oiled machine. But to see it come here and to be on a new property, there's always a learning curve. But on site, everything worked really, really well. Shuttles this year? Yep, shuttles this year, right. And so the big challenge last year was getting people off the property after the event, right? We'd never tried to just get 30,000 people home at one time, and it created some challenges. And the for those of us that live here, right, we're seeing the impacts of the growth of the community as the traffic expands. Imagine doubling the size of Redmond and trying to put them all on the road at one time. It creates backups.
It was a big festival.
Yeah, and so we had some challenges in getting people home, and we recognize that, and I think that team does too. And at the time, we did everything we could to get everybody home safe and sound, but there's just only so much you can do in the middle. And this year, the conversations never stopped. And so we've been working all year to figure out what we can do to improve, what the pinch points are, what the problems are, and it's not us, it's not just the team, it's the entire county essentially working on this project. Maybe not every employee, but so many departments, from Sheriff's Department and roads and and others to the city of Redmond, and at the state level, ODOT and Oregon State Patrol, and it's a small army of people that are working to overcome that and to make it as seamless as possible. But if you're expecting to come see a lineup with massive,
Billy Carlisle,
Billy Carlisle and Brandy Strings,
right,
and get home in 20 minutes like you maybe used to get to do at some of the concerts here at the fairgrounds, that may not happen. Got to have reasonable expectations. It's like going to a major sporting event or major festival.
Yeah,
but we're doing everything we can to make it quick, easy, and painless. But they've also done you hit shuttles and different stuff to make sure people have the opportunity to get in and out even better.
I even saw there'll be car camping too, just to allow more people to get in and out and stay, as the case may be.
Yeah, they've got RVs, trailers, motorhomes, trailers. They've got car camping, and then they've just got standard tent camping. Right? They kind of came back and they said we
want it all.
The team, and they were like we just didn't. We underestimated the ability of the Pacific Northwest to just find a place to live on a 10 by 20 space of land, and
we're kind of good at that.
They just they just don't see. They don't do that as well in other places. So they weren't.
We know how to live off the grid a little bit.
Yeah, well, and we kind of we weren't surprised, right? The event right before them is Overland Expo. It's the event teaching people how to do that, and so it shouldn't have come as a surprise to any of us. And this year it won't, right? A combination between those events, they're working a little bit closely on some combination stuff. So if you're coming to Farewell and you're tent camping, a couple weeks before, come to Overland and get all the stuff you're going to need.
There you go.
Yep, great synergies there.
Perfect schedule, perfect lineup.
Right.
You mentioned the fair. Obviously, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
Into July this year, by the way.
Yep. Starts on July 31st.
July 31st. You just announced the headliner.
And that's Friday's main stage concert. Yeah, part of the Kindle Toyota Bend, free, big capital letters, free, because it is a free concert, free summer concert series. So changed it up a little bit. We tried something new and brought in an artist that's a little bit more geared to that TikTok generation. Young Gravy. He's he released a country album because everybody's releasing a country album right now. I mean, Beyonce's gone country, and so is Young Gravy. But he's just he's a character. I mean, that's the best way I can come to describe him. He's just fun. The music's lighthearted and just kind of, it's funny, and it's a great show. And our team had a chance to go see him last year when we traveled out to meet the festival team, the Farewell Festival team at one of their festivals, and he was on the stage. And it's a great show and a lot of energy. And I think our community will be really excited, and we're looking forward to that show. And there's a couple more. We're teeing up for an announcement here shortly.
Yeah, well, you're not going to announce on this podcast some breaking news? Come on.
Well, I would like to. There's a few
Jeff,
little things.
We go way back.
I know we do. There's a few little hurdles to overcome. We actually got out early with Young Gravy, and we were about 3 weeks earlier than we were expecting and actually planning. And we got caught off guard by their team that called and said, "Hey, we're announcing their world tour next week, and we're gonna let the world know that he's coming to Redmond." And we're like, "Well, we're not ready. They said, well, it's going to happen with you or without you.
With or without you.
Yeah. So we kind of had to, we scrambled a little bit and got it ready and announced it, but it changed how we're going to do things. But everything else is lined up to be announced
in the coming weeks.
in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
This one was the
Just
the
not
one,
on this podcast.
yeah, that fell through. So, but I can say, pay attention
Next
to
year,
our social
Geoff,
medias,
next year.
and some of the other some of our other local media and stuff, and you'll see some stuff coming very soon.
I'm curious, and this is a legitimate question, because I don't know. How do you go about making the decisions as to who comes to these events for like the fair? Is there a committee? Do you get together? Do you like look and see who's, doing these kind of tours, that kind of thing? Does it fit into their schedule? What kind of puzzle piece is that to where you bring in, because you're bringing in, 4, 5 acts to fit on those dates? And then I'm just curious, as a genuine, out of genuine curiosity, how do you choose?
Yeah, so we're bringing in 5 or maybe more acts over 5 days, and one of the challenges is it has to be those 5 days. Because we don't plan fair around these artist schedules. And so we start with a really wide net and looking at what's out there and try to come up with, we start with creating genres, kind of what genres work. And so we pay attention to what else is going on in the community. We've got some other fantastic venues in our market with Hayden Homes and General Duffy's, and then you get down into some of the smaller ones with High Desert Music Hall and Fox and all of those. There's a lot of great venues in our market. So we pay attention to what they do in the prior year, what we believe they're going to do the upcoming year, and where we can, if we can eke it out as somebody, what they're working on, because we're all working on the entertainment around the same time, because the largest block of entertainment here is summer. And we start looking at tours, who's routed through, genres, and so it's a big puzzle, and it's a lot of fun, and we're looking at a lot of different stuff with a lot of different people, and we're out bouncing ideas off of kind of informal focus groups, and try to be as cautious as possible so nobody knows what we're working on specifically, but to get general ideas of what we think is going to work, and then we bring it back and kind of our internal team here finally makes some final decisions. And it's not just that. We also look at data. We're really data driven here. We look at the data for our impact, our total number of attendees. We're looking at data for who's coming to shows each year, who's coming to the shows and the events that are on the fairgrounds, and they help us make the determinations. But we're also looking at how different artists pull in the region, what their impact is, how many social media followers do they have, how many Facebook fans, how many Instagram, TikTok fans, that sort of stuff. What's their reach going to be to kind of help guide us on those decisions? It's not a perfect science because you get an artist like Young Gravy who doesn't even have music that's necessarily on the radio, but they've got huge social media following, and then you've got something like, can't tell you yet, that's coming out that's got great radio following, but maybe doesn't have that huge social media. And so you're just kind of playing it, right? A classic rock act doesn't traditionally have a huge social media following because it's not quite the genre. A young act may have huge social media, but they may not have major impact on the radio or traditional media yet. So it's really fun. And
I just imagine a smoky room with like you got your computers and listening to all these clips and looking at followings and not like that.
No smoky back rooms. I mean, it's in the office, and I mean, if you walk in our office, it's not uncommon to hear music playing, and sometimes it's just because somebody's got their Spotify going, and sometimes it's because we're listening to potential artists and trying to remember what they do or played, or maybe hearing it for the first time. And so, we're starting with a list of 1,000 artists or more, and trying to narrow that down to like I said, 5 or maybe more, just depending on the year. But there's also challenges. The amphitheater's doing 60 shows. Duffy's is doing 10 to 15 shows. There's a lot of smaller, or a couple others. Indian Head Casino, one of our great partners, is doing some shows this year. You have 40 plus X on the farewell lineup. So there's a ton of demand, a ton of competition in this market for who's going to headline in different shows, and we're just trying to be out. One, make sure we've got good quality family entertainment, but two, to figure out how to be as different as we possibly can from everything else that you're going to see in the marketplace. I think we're the only place you're going to see a Spanish language show still in the market with the band we're bringing.
Super cool, by the way.
Yeah.
Last year's was anyway.
Yeah, and really speaks to the diversity of the region as it continues to grow and change. And it's not just, that's a day of celebrating our cultures, not just that, but largely we program the stage to Spanish language, but we have Hawaiian dancing. We have just a whole huge celebration of culture on Sunday, and really kind of try to showcase how different the region is, but how we're all the same, that we all come together to celebrate, and just do lots of fun stuff.
Any other acts or anything coming in terms of shows?
Yeah, we've got some good stuff. We're always trying to bring, we're always watching the stuff that's at fair to see what our family's like and trying to bring in new things. So we've got JD Platt coming back. He's K9 King's Dog Show. He's kind of a local favorite, and he does a great job here because he lives here in Bend, but he does shows here at fair, and really great job for us. We've got Clown College, which we brought in last year, a really hands-on, fun, entertaining exhibit that kids can just go be clowns, and adults. Well, we saw a lot of adults being clowns too, in the good way. This last year at that, we've got Sea Lion Spectacular
Sea Lions coming back?
Yep, coming back. So great show. Rescued sea lions. Those sea lions can't be released back into the wild, and so
Super fun show.
Yep, and they do a great job of taking care of them and working with them, and a great opportunity to see them up close and fun, and just a really professional large show that we're bringing back. We're bringing back one more large show, right? As we continue to grow and get bigger and see success, we're putting that back into the fair so that there's even more. And we've got the group that did the high dive show, not last year but the year before. They're out of Canada, and they've got a brand new trampoline and aerial show that we're really excited to see this year. We've seen it at some other venues, at some of the other state fairs since they released it last year, I believe. But we're bringing that show here as well.
Awesome.
So 3 big shows, and then a lot of the other stuff throughout the grounds. But we're also we rotate stuff out. We try to keep those things that we know the community is going to love,
kinda.
but trying to make sure there's always something new for people to see. Some cool new shows. A couple new hypnotist activities while we're here. We've got some new jugglers. We've got some new. There's always new stuff.
The fair's awesome.
Yeah, we try.
It's so fun.
And I can't forget about talking about. The reason we exist, right? The animals, the livestock, and the competitive exhibit program as well, right? And that is, it's hard to, I don't want to say it wrong, but it's the same because it's the programs that have been around for hundreds of years, right? Since fairs started in York, Pennsylvania, when Euchaniah Watson brought a string of sheep and tied them to a fence post 200 and something years ago. And from there, we got the American Agricultural Fair, which is what this grows from. So we need to focus on that. So we've never strayed from those roots, but we change what we do each and every year, and the exhibits, the entries are different, and it's really just it's a showcase of what the community is doing and what your neighbors are doing, and an opportunity for you to show off what you're doing in all these different classes, whether you're raising animals for a show in either the 4-H FFA or open class livestock shows, or showcase in the open class exhibits contest that's indoors in South Sister Hall. There's over 500 categories, and chance for just about everybody to show off what they do.
Only you would pull out York, Pennsylvania as the genesis of it all.
Kind of a fair junkie.
That's awesome. What other big events you have coming up leading up to fair? You've got
other stuff.
Well, obviously Farewell.
Yep.
What's the one where they pick up the trash in the wilderness and?
Yeah, so Gambler, we kind of start off We're in this month with Gambler 500, which is a...
That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. I mean, how do we describe Gambler? You know it when you see it, right? Because that's when you get these crazy looking vehicles invading town, and it's a point-to-point off-road cleanup. It's not a race, but it's a cleanup, right? So essentially, you have 5,000 plus people congregate here at the fairgrounds for a weekend, and they're all here just to celebrate and have fun and be a little bit crazy. And when they come, they bring a car that's not worth more than $500, Gambler 500, and that's where it comes from. And they take these $500 cars out into the community and then out into the woods, in the wilderness, and the surrounding regions around Central Oregon, and they pick up trash. And that's why it's a point-to-point cleanup, right? Is you pick up trash between two fixed points, and you get your card stamped, and then you go on to the next one, is the easiest way to describe it. And then you come back at the end of the day and you dump all your trash. So last year they removed right around 500,000 tons of trash from our community and brought it here, and then got sorted into recyclables and stuff that had to go into the waste stream, and then it went to where it was supposed to go. So it could be either recycled, ideally, or into the dump if it had to, and so it cleans up the region. And so it's a great way for people to have a really good time, but also clean up the community, and then they also raise funds for great purposes while they're doing it. So it's a weird event. No doubt. I mean, it's the cars are very bizarre, strange, but it started here in Central Oregon. It's now a worldwide phenomenon with Gambler 500 all over the world. And last year's event, I mean, it was articles in Car and Driver and Outside Magazine. It's been featured on J Leno.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool event, and really excited to have it here. So we end this month and start next month with that. We've got BMW Motorcycle Owners Rally, the biggest gathering of BMW motorcycles in the country is coming here. They travel and go to a different location every year, and they'll come in here mid-June, 4,000 or 5,000 BMW motorcyclists. So mid-June, drive safely, watch out for the motorcyclists because they'll be around. They'll be here for a few days. Then we go back to Overland Expo. We kind of hit on that, world's largest adventure travel show.
Farewell,
Fair. Yep.
and rodeo.
Yep.
So much going on, Jeff.
I know, there's always something fun here.
That's awesome. All right, so we've determined that it's Brandy Carlisle.
Brandy Carlisle, yes.
That's coming.
Yes.
We've determined that next year you will break some news on this podcast.
We can talk about that.
And I also want to see about sneaking into that committee in that back smoky room about seeing if I can get in there to pick some of these acts. That would be kind of fun too. So if you can't,
we can work you in there.
You can work me in there somehow.
Well, I don't know if we can. You have a podcast with thousands of listeners, and you might spill the beans early. I don't know. We got to get you to sign an NDA.
Jeff, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, thank you.
If you want to find out more about these events and anything else coming to the Deschutes County Fairgrounds and Expo Center, you can go to DeschutesFair.com. They have all the schedules, all the dates, all the information, DeschutesFair.com. We want to thank you again for listening to this podcast. We hope you find it a valuable resource for information about county services and resources. You can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, or you can find us at Deschutes.org/podcast. Until next time, be safe out there.